The second directing exercise is more representative of what it means to shoot a documentary. We're going to follow the action of an event as it happens in front of us, having to make quick decisions to set up the camera. This exercise will take a few times to get it right. Actually, I get my students to continue practicing this, and they get critiqued over and over and over again. In the previous exercise, we had a few simple, very specific shots, and we had time to set up the camera. This time you'll use more shots, but you'll have to think on your feet as you follow somebody in the action, setting up the camera as you go. This exercise will be messy, so don't get discouraged. Documentaries can be imperfect, and the audience, well, they'll accept that. So take your time and be patient with yourself. Here's your assignment. Follow someone doing a simple task and get a series of shots that visually explains what they're doing. Don't interview them or have them explain what they're doing. Ideally, use a tripod, but it might not be practical in the situation. If you're holding the camera without support, keep the shots as stable as you can and don't move around too much. Don't pan or tilt. Keep it static. Keep the shots static. Keep this exercise as simple and practical as possible. Your goal is to tell the simple story. Your technical work can grow as you get better at directing. So what kind of sequence to shoot? Here are some simple options. Somebody making coffee or tea. Somebody getting ready for work. Somebody cooking eggs. So how do you start with this exercise? Well, remember the 4-point coverage rule I talked about in the video, where to put the camera? This is where you're going to practice that principle. It's a simple list to remember, even though it's not always easy to keep it in mind when you're in the middle of shooting. So first, at the start of the action, step back and get a wide shot to establish the context. Your audience wants to know where they are and to see the setting. Then, in your second point, in your second series, get a bunch of medium shots that simply follow the action. Follow what the person's doing, anticipate what they're going to do next, and show the audience the necessary information. 3, in every action, there are opportunities to get close-ups of objects and some kind of fine detail. What are great about these close-up details is that you can use them in your edit to help your audience focus on things they might not have noticed when they're following the action. Then fourth, finally, turn the camera on the person you're filming. Find opportunities to capture reactions of their face. Doesn't matter what their expressions are or if they're not dramatic. When we're looking at somebody, it tells the audience how the person on camera feels as you're following the action. These shots will be something you can use in the edit in any sequence that you're shooting. They're critically important, and they'll make the video stand out because they have emotion. You've been watching me demonstrate with 2 cameras. One was watching me shoot, and the other was the shots that I was capturing. And here's what it looks like in the final edit.
Oh, sorry, did you say action?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Now it's your turn. Plan the shots you expect to get. Try to stay to one side of the person, thus keeping the axis and the screen direction simple. Be prepared when the person you're shooting does something you didn't expect. This can actually make for a really great opportunity. Did you miss something? Don't worry about it. You're always going to miss something. But you can still edit the footage. I'm sure I will demonstrate a few mistakes as we go that I'll point out in the edit.